Howdy, y'all. Wyatt here with Cowboy Whiskey Adventures. And I want to talk to you briefly about an experience that I got to have here recently with two other whiskey tubers here, and just the overall experience and how much I enjoyed it. Now, on top of that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the channel today. So sit back, grab your favorite pour, and hang out for a little bit. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back in. Now, recently I got the chance to go with two other whiskey tubers. Now, that being Troy from Baker Drinks and Mark from Northwest Bourbon. And I got to go up and help them bottle their pick from Copper Works Distillery out of Seattle. Now, this was a completely new experience for me. It's something I've always wanted to do and I've never really gotten the chance to do. So it was just super exciting to actually get invited into the distillery and just experience this whole thing. Now, I'm going to show some pictures throughout the video that you'll see, and one will be of the bottles and of Tom, who is the master distiller there at Copper Works, and just working with him and kind of asking him all kinds of questions about how he got into business and how he got to where he's at now. And we got to meet Kevin, who's also their head of social media. Very nice person. Just a fantastic time. And what came out of all of this is the Copper Works special release. And on the front of the bottle here, it says single cask number 406, Northwest Bourbon Podcast and Baker Drinks Podcast. Now, it is an American single malt, and it is 133.4 proof, and it's called Tropical Peaches. Now, when I first heard the name, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. Oh yeah, let me show you their tater sticker. We won't talk about what that looks like. But anyway, moving on. I was in a live stream with Baker Drinks and their weekly live stream, and just talking, and found out that they were going up there. So I kind of begged my way into this and asked if he needed some help or anything like that. I was off work. I had the time, and I would love to get that experience. Found out later on that Mark was all in, and they just made it a great experience for me. So a huge shout out. I'll post their links down below. If you know me, you probably already know who they are, but just in case you don't, Baker Drinks and Mark from Pacific Northwest Bourbon. I keep calling it Pacific. It's just Northwest Bourbon. I apologize. Now, I got one other pick that was done, I know, by Baker Drinks, but I don't remember who else because I never got the tater sticker. But it was by, let me see where it's at. Do I have it down here somewhere? I know I've got it. See, that's the thing. When you get too many bottles, then you start wondering, what did I do with it? Okay, so it was Westward. And this is their chocolate. And then they had the cherry bomb too, which I have under here. But I enjoy this so much. I mean, you can't tell. I can't say I'm a whiskey collector. I kind of have a selection, so whenever people come over, I share everything that I've got. But anyway, I enjoyed this so much. Actually, this is the cherry. The chocolate one I think is gone now. But my wife actually made some chocolate ice cream out of it, and it was fantastic. But it was also a single malt, so I was like, well, they picked it, so it's got to be good. I met them down there. They had already started bottling by the time that I got there. And this is actually the Copper Works Distillery, and it's on the Seattle waterfront. So it has been there for a little while now. I know they have a tasting room there that you can go and taste their gin, their vodka, as well as their single malt. But one of the things that I found out about them that I thought was really cool when I was talking with Tom is that, so they were like originally when they started this up, and it was like the co-owners, Jason Parker and Micah Nutt, both experienced craft beer makers. They built Copper Works, and they wanted to see if they could get the craft beer and the bourbon together, and they kind of came about, the way it all came about was pretty unique. So if you get the chance to go to the Copper Works Distillery and talk with some of the people there, they know the story inside and out, and I wish I knew it better, but I don't. But what I do know is that I really did enjoy this. And while we were down there, after we got done with the, I want to say it was, how many, 206 bottles? I don't remember. It's on the back here, but I can't see it because I don't have my glasses on. So I'll put them on real quick. Sorry, my apologies. 206, yeah. So this is bottle 39, and bottle 66, which is this one here, I actually got to label myself and fill and cap and all that off. They let me do that, but we were kind of like in a little assembly line where everybody was doing everything. I got there, and the first thing they gave me the blower. Stop it. To blow out all the bottles. But they were labeling them and everything, and then we went from that to the filler, which was really cool. Just explaining everything and how it works was really cool, and seeing that huge copper still. Now, one of the cool things about it is their logo is actually kind of reminiscent of all that. It actually has the guy on here pounding out the copper, which I thought was fantastic. And I mean, look at how that sticks to the Glen. I mean, wow. And the color on it is absolutely fantastic. Now, one of the things that we talked about when we were there was they had to come up with tasting notes and stuff. So I got to kind of sit through that and even give a little bit of my opinion on that, which I thought was fantastic. And everybody kind of had a little bit of, had their own kind of experience with it, but everything kind of meshed together and was like the same. So after, tasting it and then talking about it and then tasting it and talking about it, he let us try some of their white dog or their distillate before it is put in the barrels. And when we first tried it, I was kind of like, oh, it hit pretty hard. And then we had went back to it, and it was like, it was a completely different experience. So if you get the chance to go to their tasting room, I know they have another tasting room and a cocktail bar that just opened in like 2023 in Kenmore, Washington. You really should try it. It's just, the whole experience is fantastic. Now, one of the other distilleries that I have been to here in Washington is the Woodinville Distillery, or Woodinville Whiskey Company, which my wife and I thoroughly enjoyed. I've been to the new Las Vegas Distillery in Vegas, another great experience, but nothing like Copper Works. Copper Works was a very unique distillery. And talking about the size of their pot still and how big it was and how just massive. And he was telling me about whenever they brought it into it, they had to measure the size of the door. And they were talking about, well, once we make it, we can't shrink it. So your measurements have to be right. And it was just a great story and a great time. But one of the things that, as someone newer into the whiskey world, I've come across not getting the same nose as everyone else. And I think with time, as your palate develops, you'll either get a good nose for it or you won't. But to me, the nose wasn't the same as everybody else's, but the palate was. And the flavors, when I say palate, just came out fantastic for me. Now, I'll actually put a link to this specific bottle down in the description. So if you're interested in getting a bottle of this, you can actually go to the tasting room and purchase it there, or you can order it online. Now, I thought when I first got it that it was going to be like just super strong because of the higher proof on it, but it really does not drink like that. And if you know me, you know that I kind of like mine. The highest I usually go was like, if I hit 120, I'm like, oh. But even at 133, it doesn't drink like a 133. It drinks more like a 115, 113, 115, right around there. And I would love to be able to give you more on the nose, but I'm dropping it right on the tongue first thing. Now, I completely understand why they called it tropical peaches, and it's because it has that just that distinctive peach flavor to it. I don't know how it got it from the barrels and the distillate and the aging, but I've never tasted one like this. That's not actually a flavored whiskey, and this is not. So it just completely amazed me, the flavor of it, and I thought it was fantastic. I still do. So as you can see, I got 2 bottles of it. So of course, but it sits on your tongue. It has that nice kind of coating on your tongue. It's almost like buttery, which is, to me, is just fantastic. I thoroughly enjoy it. But this is a bottle that I will share with friends and talk more about the local distillery itself. I will go back. I've even thought about joining their bottle club. So they have a bottle club, and the way that works is basically once a quarter you get a bottle and it's shipped out to you, and it's I think it's like $89 a quarter plus taxes and shipping or whatever. But basically you get that along with some other perks, like in the tasting room, and as well as you get notice on the new special releases and things like that, which I thought was kind of cool. Now, another friend of mine who I'm going to be doing a video with here pretty soon, Desert Benny, also he's part of the cask club of another local distillery around here. I want to say it's Heritage, out of Gig Harbor. And we're going to do a video with him here really soon about that whole thing and how they work their cask club and stuff like that. But at the beginning of the video, I told you, as well as talking a little bit about Copper Works and my experience there. Also, part of the reason that I started this channel was because everybody looks for stuff like this. Everybody looks for the Weller 12 or the Eagle Rare 10 or the Eagle Rare 12. The Stag Juniors, the Old Fitz, the Jack Daniels, Heritage that just came out. The 10, the 12, the 14 year. You've got, the different Penelopes, the Old Forester, the 1924 was hard to find. But everybody's looking for those tater bottles, as they call them. So I get that. And I think if you have a whiskey channel, then you kind of get in that too. You might start it thinking about one thing, but then you kind of just get sucked into trying these because you're like, wow, if ever this tuber says this is good, I should try that. Or if this tuber says it's good, I should try that. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. A guy that I talk with whenever I can, because his knowledge is just outstanding, is Bourbon Baller Lee, and he's the head guy at the QFC in Renton. And if you're ever looking for a good price on any whiskey or scotch or tequila or any spirit, I urge you to go up to Renton, Washington here, if you're local, and check out Bourbon Baller Lee. He's got all kinds of great stuff up there for great prices. And if you see him and you ask him a question, he's going to blow your mind with his own knowledge. It's just fantastic. I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed this past year getting to meet new people. You know, Mark and Troy and Laura and Matt and Pookie from Whiskey Wisdom. You know, just there's so many different people out there. I've sent handshakes or samples off to so many different people, and I get it back just for things that I can try. And it's kind of gotten away from me a little bit, and I want to pull it back just a little bit and talk more about the local distilleries that are here in Washington. And the reason for that is because not only are they local, but they're readily available here in Washington State. One of the ones that kind of started off my journey was Skunk Brothers Spirits in Stevenson, Washington. And they had a thing on startup, and I invested some money in them and stuff like that. And I still have yet to go to their distillery. So I think my wife and I are going to go down there here really soon and try that out, because they have some good cordials, and they have, you know, their smoke jumper bourbon, which is pretty good, that I enjoy, and which makes a great old fashioned, by the way. And it's just local. You know, you have Old Soldiers in Tacoma. You have, Heritage in Gig Harbor. You have Chambers Bay, which is in University Place here in Washington, and they make the Ghost Dog whiskey, which if you've never tried and you like something that's just different, Ghost Dog is fantastic. But again, back to Copper Works, I just had a completely different experience there than I've had anywhere else, and I can't thank those guys there, and I can't remember the gentleman's name that was actually working in the tasting room when we came out, and he took pictures for us and stuff. But a huge thank you to him as well. Just a great time. And to I want to say her name is Laura. Lori is her name, and she is actually kind of does their email system and stuff. And when I initially ordered a bottle, I didn't send in my address, so she emailed me right away and said, hey, you know, I want to send your bottle out, but I can't, which I'm kind of glad, because I got to go there and do the bottling. But when she found out I did that, she submitted a refund for the shipping and stuff like that. And then I got a discount being a veteran as well, so which was fantastic. And I can't thank her enough. Just total professionals there. They're on the Seattle waterfront, and just parking there was expensive as hell, but it was fun. Just the whole experience. So if by any chance any of those people see this video, just know that you made this old cowboy extremely happy, and the experience was phenomenal. So if you get nothing else out of this video, know that Copper Works is actually a fantastic distillery to visit. The tasting room is great, and everyone there is very knowledgeable about their juice. So, and not just their single malt, but their vodka and their gin as well. Now, I didn't get a chance to try those because I'm not a big gin person, not a big vodka person, but I will go back and I'll definitely give them a try. But again, about local distilleries, I did a video shortly, just a little bit ago. It's on my TikTok channel, and it's about the Oregon Spirits weeded whiskey. It's their bottle and bond. It's 100 proof, but it's also, I enjoy it too, and for different reasons. So I'm going to get back into starting a series about the local distilleries and what they do and what they offer, things like that. And I will go more into detail about all of that, and I will actually go into how they got started and so forth and so on. So Copper Works Distilling Company, they're a craft distillery, their tasting room, their gift shop. It's located on the Seattle waterfront. They also have a cocktail bar in Kenmore, which I talked about earlier, and they produce the small batch American single malt whiskey. They have a whole bunch of different gins. I know that they had a plum one there that I think is either Troy or Mark kind of raved about, that they had tried and liked. And their founders are Jason Parker and Micah Nutt. They're both experienced craft beer makers. And all their spirits are distilled in a traditional copper still. specifically created in Scotland for Copper Works and for the distillation of each individual spirit. Now, they focused on distilling spirits in their own kind of way, just to come up with different kind of flavors and things like that. Copper Works opened their doors in 2013 for their tasting room and tours and events focused on enjoying and learning all about the different spirits and things like that, which is I totally got when I was in there. It was fantastic. The only thing that I would say that I would like to see more of is there's got a lot of guys my size that wanted the Copper Works t-shirt that has this logo on it, and you didn't have any to fit fat boys. So I would love to see some 2X, 3X t-shirts in there, which with that logo on it, because I would proudly sport that on any of my videos. Absolutely. I know that they've won a lot of awards for their gins and their bourbon and their vodkas, and I know some was from San Francisco and things like that, but it's all on their page and it's all listed if you're into that kind of thing. For me, I'm not really into about the awards and things. I'm more about the flavor, the taste, the experience, and that's exactly what I got when I visited them. And again, I can't thank Troy from Baker Drinks and Mark from Northwest Bourbon for that entire experience, as well as just getting to hang out with those guys and learn more about it. So that's kind of what's going on here at Cowboy Whiskey Adventures. Please, if you've made it this far in the video, don't forget to like. It costs you absolutely nothing. I'm trying to get up to 500 followers so I can start putting a link down below to my merchandise, hats, t-shirts like the one I'm wearing, the hats, which I've got a ton of, but this one seems to be one of the most popular, and it's the Certified Whiskey Drinker. And the reason why I actually picked this lettering and this style is because it reminded me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So, but there's all kinds of things in there, different shirts. I try to keep it updated and stuff like that. And don't forget to go to peak73.com. Now, I know it's a different name, but it's a long story, and I'll tell you it sometime. But I've got everything on there about me, about my site, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. And plus, you can find out things about I try to post on there about different distilleries. And then I think the history of bourbon videos on there, as well as a YouTuber. I try to put a new YouTuber on there like each quarter. I think I have Baker Drinks on there right now. I'll probably do another one here next. And just keep you updated on people that I'm watching. Yes, I watch some of the bigger people like, the Bruzel, the Mash and Drum, the Everyday Drinker, the SLB. There's a ton of people on YouTube. There's a ton of people on TikTok. And all those people are fantastic. So drink what you like. And drink it how you like it. Because you may not like this neat. You may like it with a little water, or you may like it with some ice. That's up to you. That's your decision. I'm just telling you what I like and how it kind of sits to me for somebody who's newer into this. And I know there's all different types of flavors and things that you can get out of it. But as somebody new, I think I'm better at telling you kind of how it tastes to me and how it might taste to you if you're new getting into it. So feel free to follow along with this series. It's going to be basically titled the Whiskeys of Washington. Hey, and don't forget, Baker Drinks is also hosting this year again their blend event. So I got 6th place last year as a brand new newbie. I learned things like no Frey Ranch and nothing double oaked because Troy won't like it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of your hair. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, kind of drug on a little bit, but I was super excited about this bottle. And again, the link will be down below in the description about how you can purchase one of these bottles if you would like. And I promise, if you like the higher proofs, this is something that you're going to love. I mean, I am not a big single malt person, but this to me is just absolutely fantastic, and I really do enjoy it. So, from me to you, hope you have a fantastic Whiskey Wednesday. And to the people that I actually got to meet at Copper Works, Tom and Kevin, thank you so much for making me feel welcome. Y'all are awesome. This is Wyatt with Cowboy Whiskey Adventures saying, we'll see you in the daylight. Cheers, my friend. That's good stuff.